Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to RazörFist Arcade Live, where we can do a stream of Alien vs. Predator, but we can't do a fair use fucking movie review of the film Predator fucking 2, which is what YouTube was goddamn built on. But anyways, how the fuck are you, Terengel?
I'm doing fantastic.
Are you?
Trying.
Let me fix these volume levels real quick. And Miss Eve is right here with us, and she's going to play the game with us as well.
Yes, I am.
So this is going to be a hell of a lot of fun. Have you ever played the arcade game of Alien vs. Predator?
Never.
Never?
Never.
Never? Oh, that's a shame. Take your damn clothes off. No, let's go ahead and do it. Yeah, let's see here. We are, of course, not going to be playing AVP 99 or AVP 2001 or... Wasn't there another one? Wasn't there AVP 2008 or something?
It was by Rebellion, I think. It was pretty good.
Is Really? I heard it was dog shit. Was it? But was that from the gaming media? That's the real question.
Well.
Who knows?
All hail Eve. All hail Eve.
And if we could get Cicero to talk on command, this is where everyone would Ave Cicero.
Yes.
Good. Bad. I'm the guy with the gun.
Fuck yeah! So let's do Alien vs. Predator, folks. All right, come on. All right, yes. I love the fuck out of this game, and I'm sure any other 90s kid has beautiful, wet, saucy, sweaty memories of this game. I have vivid memories of pizza cheese-caked fingers on a joystick. But enough about my Saturday evening.
Time to hunt.
All right, so you do have to put in coins. But the
Shekels.
Miss Eve is going to start off playing with me. This is the first. You're actually witnessing her very first experience with Alien vs. Predator, the arcade game. So.
Breaking my AVP hymen.
Let's see. Yeah.
Anybody see Richie? Anybody know why Richie did Bobby Lupo?
Here we go. Eat this, you scumbags! It's a cutscene. We'll watch it.
Select your claim.
Okay. So
Where
you can.
am I?
You're two player, so pick your character.
Ow.
Just pick it.
You're beginning to irritate me.
Who do I want to be?
You gonna be the Predator?
Oh, I think we're both the Predator. You waited too long.
Oh, my bad.
No, we can restart. Hold
no,
on.
It's okay. I'm fine.
You sure?
Predator. Yeah.
And you can change at any time, so it doesn't after you die. I mean, controls are real easy.
Yeah. Oh.
There's an attack button.
Yeah, you see me just explode that guy?
Oh yeah.
Ooh, burger.
Yep.
Nice.
See, this is how life was in the 90s. We just left foodstuffs laying around on the sidewalk. A bit like reverse San Francisco.
Oh, shit. Look at me go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Fucking love this game.
Shoot 'em up. Good game.
Not to distract you, sir, but the good people are waiting.
Naturally.
They want to know.
Move that structure. Where's the light? Hold. It's a trap.
There are going to be a lot of good timed ones.
I know. Oh, did I just uppercut his ass?
Debonair Nerd says, it's a shame the stream won't
live.
but whose does? And Lord Squirrel Show
You done a
says,
man's job, sir.
Evening, sir, lady, and whatever the fuck Terran is.
A lonely man.
Have most of Udo
pick up
era,
your weapon.
Have most of Udo era now. Sorry. Have most of Udo era except
That's not help.
now and all of
What the
Tornillo
Okay, there we go.
era. Prefer Tornillo to Udo, but both are great.
I mean, there's no bad version of Accept. I even like David Reese. If you haven't gotten Eat the Heat, get it.
Oh, did I die?
Oh, yeah, you have to push start.
Start?
Yep.
I thought I was doing
And you
good.
can select a character. You can pick a different one, or...
No, I thought I was doing good. That's bullshit.
Okay.
Is that gonna be going on all night, guys?
Yeah, suck it. Suck laser, evildoer. Pelosi. I will not yield to you.
And for real fans of Aliens, Nika, the toy company, is making like a bunch of Aliens and Predators.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Are they based on the 90s toy series?
Oh, on everything. There's Predator 2 ones.
Oh, nice.
There's that chrysalis
I
alien
would
that you just
buy
bought.
Predator 2 ones.
There's even one of fucking Danny Glover.
That's amazing.
I can't believe you didn't pick the chick.
Was I supposed to?
Well, why not? It's more representation.
I don't give a fuck.
I mean, the developers went all the way out of their way. Oh,
What was that?
they went out of their way to give you an emissary and make you feel included. And you spit in their face and in Sarkeesian's face.
Somebody with the number of their head has unlimited.
Yeah, I know.
There you go.
I don't like waiting.
John Horn says, John Horn donates 20 and says, hey, Razor, I'm on vacation again, so I can enjoy the whole stream.
Fuck
Also,
yeah, bro. Plus,
have-
this is a pretty short game, so you'll enjoy the whole stream anyway.
Also, I have a lot of cash, so expect plenty of BS from me tonight.
I'm glad you said of cash there.
I remember the last time I did this, you called me a simpering cunt.
Yep.
Good time.
This is why you join us on RazörFist Arcade Live. Who else is gonna call you a simpering cunt? The government won't call you one; they'll just treat you like one.
Yeah, that's true. Lord,
Only on RazörFist Arcade Live. Ooh, his dialogue was ellipses. Apparently, he's from the planet Anime.
Lord Squirrel Show says, so Trump yeeted out of the Iran attack.
Yep.
Thoughts?
I think
Ah, what the fuck?
100% this was a BTFO thing. That's what it was. I mean, he could have done. I mean, why? What conceivable reason? Sorry to break up the gameplay for a moment, but what conceivable reason would the president have to publicly advertise that he had called off an attack if it wasn't kind of a all right, Iran, back the fuck off kind of a thing? It was his way of giving a show of force without having to show force, without having to abandon his original promise to not go to war with another fucking country, right? I think it's actually a pretty smart tactical move, personally. It was one of the better cards that he could have played. Yeah!
Fuck yeah.
John Horn says, Predator 2 was by far your best Rageaholic cinema yet.
Yeah, I was very, very proud of how it turned out. You did some great work on that one, T-Boogie.
Thank you, thank you. Good work, Chief. Well, thank you very much. Chuck,
Did I put the dancing thing at the end in the script? I can't remember.
I remember you suggested it to me, and I was like, I almost blanked on it.
Ah.
Okay. Schwarzenegger time!
Oh, shit.
Robot arm Schwarzenegger! Why the fuck did we not get a Predator sequel with Arnold with a robot arm?
Seriously.
Why?
Oh.
Now, I know he didn't want to do. He was approached to do the sequel, and he actually was okay with it. He actually liked the idea for Predator 2, but Arnold was busy, not only with Kindergarten Cop, but with what was the other one? Was it Terminator 2? I think it was Terminator 2.
Terminator
Which, talk
2
about a
was
shitty trade-off. I would rather have a Predator 2 with Arnold than fucking Terminator 2 any fucking day.
Did somebody remind me in the chat, was Terminator 2 91 or 92?
90, yeah, I can't remember.
No, not last.
Holy
actually.
shit!
91 was it? Thank you.
I totally just pile drove a giant purple penis alien.
91?
Oh!
Make up your mind.
Yeah!
But yeah, the Nika toys were Chrysalis and this dude, Razor Claws. I think the third one might have been.
Oof.
It might have been just one of the generic blue aliens.
But wouldn't that have been badass if, like, he came back in a sequel, at the beginning of the sequel, the Predators got to him, tore his fucking arm off, and he had to come back with a goddamn cyberpunk arm? Because this is little-known fact, Predator is actually set in a cyberpunk universe.
Yeah, I mean...
It's not actually in our
You
world.
can tell, really, with the way... For some reason, it's the way they filmed it. But L.A. just looked different.
Yeah.
Like, it felt...
Push start.
It felt like a 2000 AD comic. Oh, then I forgot. I believe if they might not be out yet, but there are figures.
These aliens all come from one hive. They all come from one caravan. Sorry.
But Dutch and Lynn here, his name's not Dutch, but it might as well be.
Major Schaefer, come on.
They're coming out as figures as well.
Bitchin'. This is Dutch. Let's not bullshit.
Yeah,
here.
it's fucking Dutch.
It's fucking Dutch. Which begs the question: who's the chick?
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
shoot!
She might
Shoot!
be original.
Shoot for your life, lady.
And she needs to be in more stuff.
Isn't this?
Doing it.
You like the game?
Oh, what the fuck was that?
Whoa!
What was that? Did he just come up and jump on you?
Yep. Aliens jumping over something. That's
Oh, so
That's
his
odd.
name is Dutch. Okay. Dutch Schaefer.
you just made my APC 10 feet taller.
Let's continue. Chuck Bandy.
Assault on a queen. Hate crime.
Chuck Bandy says, I tongue punched Gene Gershon's fart box.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Who's Gene Gershon?
Gine.
He's referencing Gina Gershon, I
Gina
think.
Gershon?
Oh, tackle! Dutch does like a 3-point tackle.
John Horn says, I saw a video of Kevin Spacey getting into a fight with an illegal immigrant. Does that count as Alien versus Predator? Yes, it does. That's excellent casting, too, by the way. Bojack Outlaw says, hey, Razor, did
And
you
the
hear?
inevitable Kevin Spacey, Bryan Singer team up will be Predators.
Hey, Razor, did you hear? Anita tried to extort money from CDPR.
I did hear about this,
She
and
is broke and feminist frequencies.
That is-
Bankrupt,
yeah.
both financially and morally.
that was much more interesting, was hearing the financials, which, guys, if you'll recall, in 2013 when the Anita Sarkeesian phenomenon first really took off, I don't know if you guys remember, I put out a video called, I can't remember what it was called, but it was my very first Sarkeesian raid. It was Sarkeesian something, and it had a picture of her and her mountain of games that she never played. And in that video, I specifically said, guys, ignore her. She'll be gone in 5 months. That seriously, just stop making videos about her and she'll go away.
And
No-
she did. I mean, people just...
Yeah.
Well,
She only comes back occasionally.
ultimately she did, but like all throughout 2014, 2015, even into 2016, people were still spurging out about her. And I did a couple of videos about her. I think a grand total of maybe 3 all told, which is not many for a 5-year period or whatever the fuck. And the whole time, every time I made a video, I was like, guys, I understand I'm making a video. Technically, this makes me a hypocrite, but you gotta ignore her. You gotta, seriously, just freeze her the fuck out. She'll go away. And sure enough, after she kind of took a break from YouTube, very brief break, mind you, she immediately went back to making videos. It's just people stopped watching them. The main thing that changed here is people stopped flipping out about her and making fucking videos about her for 5 goddamn minutes, and suddenly, surprise, within a small period, like not even a fucking year, it turns out she was having financial trouble. And now she's soliciting developers for fucking consultation gigs? It's all you had to do. Ignore her ass.
You realize she never really had anything to contribute at all.
Nothing! I also found it really interesting. I don't know if it's from a Jonathan McIntosh. Was it from the Polygon piece where they were? I mean, it raises an interesting question, because right around the time it was clear Anita had financial problems, suddenly there were a bunch of articles about Anita Sarkeesian. Oh, kill him! Kill him! Kill him!
Trying.
Kill him or they possess him! Ah!
They're little. They're hard to get. Fuck. Ah!
Get it!
He got me.
Bitch! But yeah, in like the Polygon piece, I believe they interviewed Jonathan McIntosh. And some of the stuff that he said was pretty interesting. Stuff like, you know, and I kind of got this as I was watching her videos after a while, that like, you could tell she was shook by all the criticism, that when you watched her newer videos, they seemed crafted to sort of defeat arguments before they popped up. And it was clear she was getting really defensive, right? And Jonathan McIntosh basically confirmed that in the article. Like, we were literally writing the episodes anticipating every single counter-argument, which is no way to write a video. Whoa. I got it. The select button there, by the way, inserts coins. Biowar unit.
Mr. Mosby asks thoughts on the band Suicidal Tendencies.
I've never been a big Suicidal Tendencies guy. They have a lot of fans, but it's just not a band I ever got into. Not really my thing.
I saw them live.
Did you?
Yeah.
With who?
They toured with Megadeth. I saw them at Megadeth, Metal Church, and then
Yeah.
Suicidal Tendencies.
See, I'd go for Metal Church. But
They were good. I've seen Metal Church 3 times. But no, Suicidal Tendencies, I couldn't really get into it. The lead singer just does this weird kind of dance. Where he lifts both of his arms up and stomps on them. No, I'm not even kidding. He did that the entire fucking time.
I stole your staff.
That?
John Horn donates again. Have you listened
Arnold laying
to
the pipe.
Have
And
you
this time
listened
it's
to
not
the
to a maid.
Judas Iscariot album that dropped last year?
Oh, the fake new album? Yeah. There was just a re-release of a bunch of bootleg shit without his authorization.
It's just unreleased.
Yeah. No, it's not
material,
even.
but I dig it.
It's not even unreleased. It's previously released shit. This record company apparently has a history of just taking shit that's already been released, but on a smaller scale, putting it out as new product and claiming it came from the original artist. They've done it with a number of other bands. So, desist. ignore it. I believe a lot of that stuff was on the Armageddon EP. Some was even on like Moonlight Butchery and shit. Yeah! Robot! I got it. Oh, you fucking bitch! Yeah! Woohoo!
Oh, I got it on my face.
That's right, Dutch. Punch her right in the eggs. I'm coming day and night.
Ryu said, what's the difference between a Jew and Santa Claus?
Oh dear. Well, something about a chimney that I'm not going to say out loud.
Yeah, we have already gotten that one, guys. Come on, step up your game.
I know, step your game up. Boy, that kid went away, didn't they?
Yeah.
What did
I
they
wonder
put
what
him in a
happened to
wood
him.
chipper? What the fuck happened to Marcus PSP? Oh, probably the same thing that happened to the PSP.
Sir Pimps a Lot says, I gotta know, why were you
Gots to know.
why were you ripping on Dave Mustaine's voice? A reasonable critique, but I've only heard praises recommending King Diamond's supersonic falsetto. The neighborhood dogs are fans, though.
Killing with fire.
Whoa! That's right, Slay Queen.
Yeah.
So what is your problem?
Stunning and brave.
What is your problem with Dave Mustaine?
He sounds like he needs a handkerchief. He should have hired a singer from the beginning because his music isn't half bad. Here's my issue. Megadeth's music has always been too melodic for his voice. That's kind of the issue. Oh, we died at the same time. But yeah, like Megadeth's kind of, their music is really melodic. It's like just this side of Iron Maiden for a thrash band, I mean. Just this side of Iron Maiden. They would sound better with, and there are thrash bands that do this, they would sound better with a singer a little bit more in that vein. Like, there's a good thrash band called Forbidden that has, like, their classic Bay Area thrash, like in the Metallica tradition, maybe a little bit more technical and progressive. But then their singer is like Ripper Owens. Like, he's screaming and he has falsetto. It sounds amazing. Twisted into Form and Forbidden Evil. I mean, those are classics. Like, if you want to know what Megadeth would sound like with proper vocals, that's kind of what it would sound like.
I think Megadeth is popular because of it's unique as a band.
I don't.
Kind of like King Diamond.
It's mostly, honestly, he's more known for his guitar work than his voice.
Yeah, but Megadeth is a very successful band. You honestly just get used to it. Kind of like, I was weirded out by King Diamond. I can't say I love Dave Mustaine's voice, but Megadeth is one of my favorites.
I'm not mad at it either, because in order to be mad, I'd have to feel something.
Kenny Powers would like to know your thoughts on the Expos possibly making a comeback.
Well, it's not the Expos. It's I hope so. I mean, if they were bringing back the Expos, if they were just taking the Tampa Bay Devil Rays and turning them into the Expos, which would not be a bad idea, I'd be all for it. But they're not doing that. They're just gonna play the beginning of the Devil Rays season. Is it the beginning is in Florida and then the end of the season is in Montreal? Maybe they're testing the waters. Who knows? I will say, if you're in Montreal, you should go out to these games. Because here's the thing. Even if you don't like the Devil Rays, I mean, who the fuck does? And yes, I still call them the Devil Rays, goddammit. Even if you don't like the Devil Rays, you're still going to... They're in the AL East, so you're going to get to see the Red Sox. You're going to get to see the Yankees, the Orioles. Not that we should hold that against them. And, of course, the Blue Jays. Again, not that we should hold that against them. So, you know, you'll get to see some pretty good teams whenever they play those teams. So I'm all for. I think the Expos should come back. I don't think they should have gone away to begin with. I think that was handled really poorly. They should have just given them a stadium and tried to reboot them first. I mean, look at all the times they've tried to reboot the goddamn Marlins. But the fucking Expos, they just kind of died this slow, withering death because, you know, Major League Baseball bought them and mismanaged them to shit. It was awful.
Asim would like to know your thoughts on the Xbox Scarlet.
The what?
The new Xbox that they announced.
I actually haven't looked into it at all.
It doesn't even have an official name yet. It's
just Project Scarlet or whatever the fuck.
Apparently, it's going to have all the bells and whistles, 4K, 60 FPS. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Please.
Stealth Creation says, your thoughts
I think it's a mistake. I'll say this. I think it's a mistake for Microsoft to announce and release before Sony. Sony has shown in the recent past, they tend to look what other people are doing, bash what they're doing, and then just do it like 0.001% better and win that way. That's kind of... It's a bad move to move first, I think, for Microsoft, actually. I think they should flip the script, wait for the PS4 to drop, and just one-up it in every way if they want to actually compete.
I've been corrected by our Lord and Savior, Cthulhu, who says... it's going to have 120 FPS, not 60.
If you believe that, I have a fleet of bridges to fucking sell you. Now, are those officially announced though, or are those like just leaks?
No. It was at the E3.
Was it? I don't remember that.
They talked about Project Scarlet. It was very forgettable. Yeah. Stealth Creation says, do you think YouTube handles censoring like a crowdsourcing scheme, wherein media and business act as mods, content reviewers instead of employees?
All right, let's see here. Do I think they act more as mods? I think... Honestly, I don't think their employees act like much of anything, and that's kind of the problem. They're sort of a non-entity. Everything is so automated. Your likelihood of talking to a human being is obscenely slim, and on the rare occasions you actually do talk to a human being, it's a fully inflamed, animated cunt. Like, it's just the living embodiment of every soy-soaked Seattle cliche you've ever been exposed to. And that's kind of a problem. You can't really get a straight answer out of YouTube. There's so much disconnect.
Oh, and about...
Fuck yeah! We just destroyed a fucking robot suit.
Asim points out for Project Scarlet, they announced that the SSD could be tapped for VRAM, but didn't disclose how much RAM it would have.
Yeah, that's a question.
Wonder how much of a trade-off it's going to be.
Yeah, do you want to...
You know what? No, this is your first experience with it. You should play it all the way through.
It's not a long game.
I can handle the question.
Alright.
Yeah, actually, you're through most of the majority of the game already. It's not that much longer, is it?
Yeah, it's not a long game.
Oh, fuck off. Shooting my fucking foot.
I got it! Hell yes!
Stealth Creations donates again to ask your thoughts on Facebook Libra cryptocurrency. I had
Facebook is launching a cryptocurrency.
apparently.
There's a stalwart organization with a firm fucking foundation of reliable, credible guardianship of your personal information upon which to build a reliable cryptocurrency.
Totally trustworthy.
If you're gonna build a fucking currency, like, banks already have enough credibility issues. Why would you trust the website that demands you give them your ID and then admits your ID information was leaked to hackers a few months later? Like,
Howling Warwolf says,
All right.
Hey Razor, did you know that Maxine Waters actually defended the guys who tried to murder Reginald Denny?
I don't know who Reginald Denny is.
I missed that
Oh,
bit of news.
pipe! Pipe down.
Flint,
Come on! Hit it!
Flint,
Come on, I'm here! Kill me!
Flint, Michigan Slip and Slide says, inspired by your last stream and plugged in my old SNES again. What games, besides DK, would you recommend? I already own Zelda Link to the Past also.
What, I'm sorry, for what? SNES?
Yeah, so Star Fox, definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely Star Fox. I'd recommend, if you like fighting games, Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters is awesome. I really dig Breath of Fire. I'd recommend Phantom 2040. Great little Metroidvania kind of a game. Great stuff.
Yep.
This game is on fucking Super Nintendo. Albeit, a slightly pared down Super Nintendo version of it.
There's Super Mario All-Stars, Super Mario RPG, a couple of Kirby games were really
Donkey
good.
Kong Country, of course, is mandatory. All 3 Donkey Kong Country games. I remember how hard the third one was to find back in the day. That was like it was in and out of stores in like a fucking second and a half, because
Like the Major always says.
Information is ammunition.
it was in and out of stores real quick because they were jumping to the 64 pretty soon, I believe.
Oh yeah, Earthbound, Mega Man, all of the Mega Man X
Earthworm
games.
Jim.
Earthworm Jim. If you want to cut, I mean, those are standard, but of course, Chrono Trigger, yes.
Yeah.
Kirby's Dream Course was really fun.
Kirby's
Love that as-
Kirby's Superstar
yeah,
is
Superstar.
where it's at.
And if you want something off the beaten path, Addams Family Pugsley's Scavenger Hunt is really good, surprisingly good. Like, that might have pushed the Super NES to its limits. It looks great. Sim City, yeah. Sim Earth, I love this. I think Sim Ant was on the SNES as well.
And the Wing Commander games are on Super Nintendo, and they're not bad.
Ironcaster says EVO Quest for Eden. I love that fucking game. I would stream that game. If you would let me have that for a night, I would come over and you could read questions. Fucking play the shit out of that game.
The prey has escaped. Alright. Oh yeah! Come here, you little bitch-made bedwetters.
Fuck 'em up.
Come over here and get cyber uppercutted.
John Horn says,
Yeah!
Good lord, Karen, why can't you pronounce words more than 3 syllables long? Seriously. Somebody get Gellen Keller some elocution classes?
Elocution.
Oh my god.
Stealth Creation says, your thoughts on Last Zelda and its sequel trailer. So, Breath of the Wild and their announcement.
Breath of the Wild was awesome. I think it's great that they're doing a direct sequel for the first time. No, wait, wasn't there another one set in the Wind Waker universe, or am I drunk?
I don't.
Trying to think of the last time. Was Majora's Mask the last time they had a direct sequel to a...
Wait, wasn't A Link to the Past a direct sequel to the NES Zelda? Or am I high?
Well, yeah, but Majora's Mask would be after that.
Yeah, then Majora's
Regardless.
Mask was a sequel, and then, so no, there's been others.
But yeah, I think it's really cool that they're actually continuing the Breath of the Wild storyline. I think that's pretty boss. I will say it's kind of funny watching Sony and Microsoft fight over table scraps, because Switch is not making the mistake. It's rapidly taking over the market, and it doesn't look like Nintendo's going to make the same mistake they did with the Wii and just give up on software.
Merlin's Chester says,
Yeah. Oh. Yep, I totally ganked your staff. That didn't sound right.
Merlin's Chester says, when is Eve shackling
Whoa.
T-Boogie to a Smith machine, and how much do we have to pay to see it? As
I wouldn't touch T-Boogie with a 10-foot pole.
As for shits that will actually happen, Final Fantasy Tactics Extreme win.
Ooh, I'd love to. Love to do Breath of Fire 3 as well. And 4, very underrated game 4.
Andy Versus donates 25. Thank you, sir. I'm a simple man. I see Razor and Company playing my favorite arcade game ever. I throw some dough.
Yeah!
I throw them some dough. Well, thank you very much, sir. Powderbot says, did you hear about the Klansman who ran out of bread?
Uh-oh. He was 3 sheets to the wind. No?
He lactose
Oh, shit!
intolerance.
You're letting me loose?
Holy crap. Yeah! Tornado uppercut, bitch! What?
What the fuck was that? I don't know.
Thank you, Byzantine.
Get him! Oh my god! Come on, Dutch!
Ah, you fucking threw me.
You gotta have faith, Arthur. Ah!
Mr. Mosby says, so the Huffington Post showed a poll that said Trump had 0% chance of winning. Should I be worried?
Imagine believing that. I mean, here's the thing. Okay, even if you think Trump is gonna lose, imagine being 100% certain that any president of any stripe, of any color, of any party, of any amount of controversy,
Deserve this. Deserves got nothing to do with it.
of any persuasion, of the most profane, vile tract of humanity. Imagine believing that an incumbent president would not win when we literally have not voted out an incumbent since 1992. And before that, it was over a decade. We don't vote out incumbents anymore. We just don't. Which is like an unstated advantage that nobody seems to be fucking mentioning here. Like, George W. Bush said on national TV, read my lips, no higher taxes, then raised the taxes, and even that didn't lose him the election because he was an incumbent. What lost him the election was Ross fucking Perot. If Ross Perot wasn't in that election, we wouldn't have voted George H.W. Bush out of office. That's just a fucking fact. We don't vote out incumbents, folks. How the fuck could No. So no, you should not be worried. You should absolutely not be worried. Now, maybe he gets beaten, maybe he doesn't. But regardless, there is an objective mathematical advantage to him being the incumbent president. Period. Because we simply don't vote out incumbents. Such absurdity. Like, imagine how deranged you have to be. How utterly convinced of your political worldview you have to be. How self-deceived you have to be to just completely ignore the incumbent advantage. I'm not saying it guarantees him a victory, but it does not only gives him an advantage, it gives him a massive one. Ah! Okay. Let's go at this with two-fisted predators.
I can't tell who's who now.
I know, right? Yeah! There we go.
That was a quick one. Jesus.
Ooh! Committed cyber seppuku.
DK Unit says, funny to see critics ragging on the new Shaft movie for being exploitive, sexist,
Right?
and hyper macho, aka being a Shaft movie.
I know, right? Who would have thought an exploitation film would be exploitative?
Cardiac Isola says, thoughts on Josh Hawley's anti-censorship bill?
I haven't looked into it. I don't know. I worry about some of those because sometimes there can be sneaky language stuck in there. And we know how much Congress loves its pork.
Bruce Campbell's chin says, out of 3 web shows, which one do you refuse to watch more than the others? Cobra Kai, Death Battle, or
Ugh.
Ruby?
Far and away Death Battle. I do not understand the appeal and never have. It's so stupid. And the logic they use for some of them is just what the fuck, dude.
Action Jack says, hello Razor and T-Boogie, I would like for you guys to know I've been watching for 3 or so years since I was starting in high school, and I'm excited to continue watching you guys all throughout my time in the U.S. Air Force. I enlisted last month. Godspeed.
Speed.
Thank you for sticking with us.
Wonder what he's working on. F-16s or assuming he's working on planes. Of course, if he's early on in his tenure, I don't know that they're letting him anywhere near planes yet. I got a friend who worked in the Air Force as a maintenance tech working on F-16s, which is pretty cool. When they don't crash, I mean. Every other day.
Rod Howard
Ooh.
says, I remember this game. It was almost as good as the new Bethesda DLC that I just finished pre-ordering. How many copies have you pre-ordered so far?
And we
Rod
can
guy
and we
looks
can
suspicious.
trust him. He's not Todd Howard.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. I mean,
He's a suspiciously handsome fellow, though.
yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Suspiciously familiar.
Something about him, though.
Something about him.
Got a nice mustache, though.
You know it's not Todd Howard because he's wearing glasses.
Yes.
It's how you know.
Evil Dead says, did the metal gods send a message to Dave Mustaine with that tumor to finally get a real vocalist? Dark humor aside, thoughts on the U.S.-Iran fiasco?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know exactly what the impetus for all of it is. The question I want answered, and I'm not really hearing anyone even really address it or quite frankly even ask it, is what changed in Iran recently that would cause that. That's kind of my question. And for a long time there's been a weird sort of uneasy stalemate between the utterly limp-dicked Iranian government, the completely iron-fisted military, and the equally iron-fisted mullahs. So it's kind of Islam. It's like they're ruled by a triumvirate, basically. It's basically Islam versus the military, and then the government's in there somewhere. They're basically puppets, but occasionally they can make a power move. I'm wondering what's shifted in that particular balance, because I haven't been paying that close of attention to Iran recently. But the thing about it is, it's such an uneasy stalemate. If any one of those tectonic plates shifts, one or the other can make a power move, and it would probably look a lot like shooting down a U.S. drone. Particularly if it were the military, which is a question. I know Iran recently has been implicated in a lot of shit. I know they were implicated in Syria and a few other places, so maybe that has something to do with it. I know it sounds to me like the military in Iran has gone into business for itself a bit. More so than usual, I mean. Come on! Ugh. Yeah! Oh! Democrat voters.
Peyton Sloan says, I've been waiting years for the review of Predator 2. Thank you. I wish I could
told
give
you guys I would do it. I've wanted to do it ever since I watched it. I love that movie.
Thank you very much, Peyton.
Whoa. Woo. Oh! Well done. Jump! Jump over.
Jump. I can't fucking jump.
Yeah, you have a jump.
Where?
There's 3 buttons.
Where?
Try them. There you go.
Oh. Okay.
Jump. There you go.
Drop it.
Oh!
Oh, what the fuck was that? Ah! What is that keep happening?
I'm trying to get my staff. Oh, that's bullshit.
Laser and Eve get butt fucked by laser for straight 10 minutes.
Come on. There we go.
Ah!
Fire the laser.
I'm going to assume this is French. Inspector Javert says something sabotage.
Good.
Spaghetto Godfather says, people who defend groups from imaginary hatred tend to be people who feel that they are a bad person. But instead of trying to be a good person, try to be on the right side of history, which coincidentally gives them a license to be a bad person to the other.
Oh, absolutely. It's a perfect example of this. This is a microcosm, obviously. I was just telling Eve the other day, we're driving through a neighborhood here in Phoenix, and there's this guy who in this neighborhood, we pass through this neighborhood all the time, and he's always got some super left-wing sign. I think I told you guys on a previous stream, this guy has such bad Trump derangement syndrome. He literally, at the height of the Russia hysteria, he wrote a handwritten picket sign. Handwritten with like a Sharpie in really fucked up handwriting. And this guy's in a nice house. This is like, super rich Lexus liberal guy. And he wrote, Trump, you have 2 choices, quit or be fired. That was written, handwritten in fucking Sharpie.
That's
and he puts this on his painstakingly well-maintained yard in front of his incredibly nice house, and you can see through his giant plate glass window the fucking 4K TV draped on the wall. This guy has a nice fucking house. This Lexus fucking liberal. I mean, this guy, utter Trump derangement syndrome. And yet we're driving past the other day. He's got another shit lib sign in the front yard. I don't know what the fuck it says.
No, it was one of those hate has no home here signs.
Some bullshit like that.
And then they have it written in Arabic and all the other languages.
So this toolbox And mind you, he's the good little liberal. He's the guy who gives a shit about how society functions and we should all come together and hate has no home here. Meanwhile, he's got half his fucking truck blocking the entire goddamn street because he's too lazy to pull all the way into his fucking driveway. You see what I mean? Like, the functional... It's like they'll vote to be a good person because they're physically incapable of being a good person in real life, basically.
They think they're making up for it.
Absolutely.
Mysterious Senor Hilter says, "Darn you, Razor. Floor ice cream gives you health."
Bless you.
Thank you.
Mussolini A donates 20. Thank you very much.
Boppity boopy?
Boppity boppity is what he says. Sorry, I misunderstood my Italian here. He does actually say boppity boopity. I've got to learn the finer art.
All right. It's Dutch time. It's Dutch time.
It's me, the Great Musso. What is your favorite weak weapon in any video game
Favorite weak weapon? Definitely the stealth pistol from Deus Ex.
that you wish you could own in real life? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, stealth pistol. Although I basically already own it. It's called a staple gun.
Also, I am in the progress of my great plan to fund YouTubers like you to help defeat SJWism. Well, that's cool.
Thank you, sir.
Fuck. Fucking bitch. They grab you with their fucking penis heads.
I wonder if there's any message behind that. Any subtext whatsoever. If only they'd been designed by a creepy Swedish dude. Or was he German? Was Giger, was he Swedish or what the fuck was he? Who? H.R. Giger.
Oh, fuck.
What the fuck was he? Was he Swedish?
People are saying Swiss.
Swiss.
Yellowger says, "Evening, Razor and Darren.
Oh!
Greetings from greetings from the land of Dracula.
Oh, Romania, huh?
I was wondering, why do you think Tobias Forge of Ghost gets so much flack, even that most brands seem to usually have one driving creative force? Iommi for Sabbath, Freddy for Queen, etc.
Does he get flack? I don't know. I mean, I've heard. Are you talking about his ex-band members that are giving him shit about, like, I know he's being sued by ex-band members because, royalties or some shit, or they wanted to be equal partners in the. What it sounds to me like is they wanted to be equal partners in the band and get an equal financial share, but it's basically Tobias Forge's band. So, of course he's not going to give him an equal share because they didn't do an equal amount of the work. That to me seems to make sense. Dokken is the same way, right? The other members of the band sold their share to Don Dokken. So he gets most of the money. Let's see here. Which is fair enough. Nowadays, he does most of the songwriting. He always did a lot of the songwriting. Plus, it's, got his last name on it. I assume that's what you're talking about. If you're talking about the kind of pushback against Ghost lately, I think it's just the fact that they've gotten so big. You're always going to have pushback.
Mac Daddy Love Train says, "You seem to have a complicated relationship with MechWarrior Online. Care to elaborate on what it is you like and don't like about the game? Been loving it, insane mech costs aside. As someone totally new to the franchise, I don't have the long time fan perspective."
It's a Twitch shooter. It doesn't feel like MechWarrior, basically. I mean, it's really no more complicated than that. MechWarrior deserves better. It's not worthy of the title at all. Ooh! Did I just steal your sword?
Yeah, you did.
Sorry.
Drop it.
Drop it.
Whoa! Yeah!
I'm gonna play MechWarrior online again. Just kind of fell off.
You fall off because the grind is such bullshit. You know, it's... to get the mechs you want and the equipment you want and the customization shit you want, you know, you either have to pay for it or you have to grind your ass off. It's, you know... There's a reason MechWarrior 5 has enlarged the targeting reticle and made it a lot less of a Twitch shooter. This was a conscious decision. They tried to turn MechWarrior into a Twitch shooter, and that's what the result was. MechWarrior Online. I mean, it just was.
When's MechWarrior 5? I get the release date.
September. Ooh. September 20. It's on their website. If you go to MechWarrior5.com or whatever it is, it has the release date right there. And it looks much better than MechWarrior Online.
It does.
Much better.
Darth Dragon said, "Hello, Razor, TG, Lady Eve, Cicero. Your Predator 2 review has been seen by 2,283 viewers, and you have over 15,000 subscribers. YouTube will soon be obsolete. God
true.
fucking speed.
It's absolutely true, dude. You know, we never got anywhere near that amount of viewership or engagement on VidMe. You know what I mean?
Or game trailers.
I feel like,
Or Screw Attack.
oops, sorry. How do I drop this? Can I? Damn it.
You have my shtick.
I know, I'm trying to...
There you go.
Don't.
How many years before the aliens call for reparations from the predators for breeding and using them for sport?
Oh! Damn it, your stick went away. I was gonna steal your stick. I was gonna be an interchangeable metal reviewer that does a lame knockoff Metal Mythos like 20,000 other channels out there now.
Ice Physics says, when Eve leaves Razor for Cicero, I'm sure he and Karen will be very happy together.
That's disgusting. Only white women.
Oh!
Shit. That's funny.
Yeah!
Jay Center says, Hail Razor,
Woohoo!
T-Money, and Fisted Sister. Thoughts on the dog shit du jour, that is the Jussie Smollett case. He is under scrutiny once again, and Fox is under special investigation.
Oh, just a moment before you finish that. I'll go ahead and answer a few questions if you want to take Cicero out real quick.
Yeah.
I'll just answer a few questions and then we'll resume the Alien versus Predatoring festivities.
Yeah.
Sorry, what
I
about
think
the
you're
Jussie Smollett case?
I think you're right at the end, too.
Yeah, I'm near the end.
Where was it? Jussie Smollett case. What do you think about it? He is under scrutiny once again, and Fox is under special investigation. What say you, righteous ones?
Oh, it's blatantly obvious she squashed the investigation.
Yeah.
This is the problem with Chicago politics is I feel like some of this has to do with Obama.
It's Miller time.
Because the man managed to get to a national stage with his Chicago corruption fairly blatantly obvious and still skated on it. So I think there's this prevailing sentiment within Chicago like, fuck it, we can get away with anything, even when it's on a national scale. Like, the last guy to really get the book thrown at him in Chicago for corruption was Rod Blagojevich, and that was only because he could no longer help Obama. So it was like, whatever, he goes, under the bus he goes, you know what I mean? But I think Fox is fucked here because it's a new day. It's not the Obama administration anymore. You know, our government may still be fucked up largely because of Congress, but you can't just be this blatantly corrupt and squash an investigation this flagrantly and get away with it anymore. Well, it's just not going to happen.
You saw the leaked texts, right, between Fox and one of Obama's aides?
Yes, and that Obama and the lawyer who's actually, she was the former chief of staff for Michelle Obama.
Oh my God.
Yeah, two of the key figures with the Michelle Fox investigation who were telling her basically to shut it down. It's the former chief of staff for Obama and the former chief of staff for Michelle Obama, for fucking Magic Mike. So, yeah. Some interesting shit there.
Jason21 donates 20. Thank you very much. You have entertained and educated me for long enough. Time to give something back.
Godspeed, thank you.
And thank you for introducing me to Thief 2.
Fuck yeah.
Best Steam purchase I've made in ever.
Oh, hell yeah. And it's on sale right now, I believe. Yeah, I believe it's on sale on Steam.
But thank you very much, Jason.
Speaking of that and Jussie Smollett, I was telling T Boogie before the stream, Police Simulator came out. I can't fucking wait. Go Rodney King on the Upper West Side. All right, continue.
Now, it's only an accurate police simulator.
It's community outreach.
If you can plant a gun and sprinkle some cocaine.
Right.
RPC Black Wolf says, "Evening, Razor, Miss Eve, and person." Hey, I'm a person.
Hey!
Glad I caught the stream. YouTube decided not to notify me for some reason.
Right.
Thoughts on whole Iran issue? We already talked about that a little bit, but did you have anything to add?
Yeah, I'll say several things, and these are just kind of the high points of the high points. Number one, I don't want to go to war with Iran, and I don't necessarily think it's justified yet. But I will say, even if Israel were manipulating the whole situation, which a lot of people suspect they are, and I actually disagree. I much more strongly suspect Saudi involvement than Israeli, personally, because Saudi Arabia is the one that has the fucking blood feud going on with Iran, to be perfectly honest. But regardless of that, Saudi Arabia and Israel being dicks does not preclude Iran from being our enemy, and I can assure you from personal experience, they are absolutely not, they're not our allies. But I'll also say, the way Trump handled it was surprisingly, well, I don't know why I would be surprised. He's done this a few times, where he's able to kind of have one foot in a stern warning without actually making it come off like a limp-wristed, Obama era kind of, oh, here's the thin red line you can't cross. You know what I mean? Him actually planning to launch an attack and then just not going through with it, and then kind of advertising that, is a surprisingly smart move. And we'll see if it works. I don't know that even that'll work. It's possible they'll see through it. Who knows? But I think that was probably the best hand that he could play at that particular time.
Karen.
Yo.
It's me and you switch.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Eve will be reading your questions now,
Did you read his? No? Okay.
while they go through their fucking digital version of Who's on First over there.
Who's on first? What's on second?
Now, are those the correct pronouns, is the question.
Absolutely. Absolutely not.
Zer's on first. Ziff's on second.
I'm over here now.
Project.
T Boogie is gonna be playing, and I'm gonna take his spot reading questions.
Yep.
So.
All right, so let's do one more before we jump back in.
All right. Mal Roadkill donates $5. Violence is not the answer. It is the question, and the answer is yes. Illegal aliens are a wonderful thing to waste. Good weekend and God fucking speed.
Oh my. Especially if they're from California.
Yes.
We're heading for Venus.
Penis.
All right.
I'm ready. I got it. I got it.
Whoa.
Sorry, my score is so bad, T Boogie. I kept fucking dying.
What was the last proper Predator game? Was it City Hunter?
Concrete jungle.
Concrete Jungle, sorry. Was that the last one?
I got it. No, I think the Rebellion was the last one. AVP.
No. I mean just a Predator game.
Yeah, probably Concrete Jungle.
Is that any good? I don't even know.
It was okay. It's definitely dated.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm yelling in your ear.
No, it's all right.
Yeah, you have to speak up louder because the mic.
Yeah, I'm trying to situate the mic so
All right, you
it
ready
picks
for
up
another
his
question?
womanly voice.
You ready
Ah!
for another question?
Yes.
Yeah. Gunnar donates $7 and says, Razor, in a future rant, I would be utterly thrilled if you would use my favorite insult of all time.
What's that?
Call someone a milk-fed gimp.
Milk drinker.
I didn't even know I could do that.
In a world where you can falcon punch a giant razor claw, but a little fucking chest slug requires a shoryuken. Gotta like tack nuke it from the fucking air. Knife to see you. Stick around. Come on, don't bullshit me. Come on.
Inspector Javert donates $2 through
Javert.
Javert. Well, I had a T at the end. I'm American. Yay or nay, LA Noir style starring Harry Lush.
An LA Noir style game?
It just says LA Noir style. Probably the game, maybe.
I don't think a Bosch game would be that great. Personally. It's a good show, though. Very, very good show. Come on, bitch.
Funny Valentine donates $1.99. Razor, any chance for a music mythos on Javert?
I can't. Just a sec. I can't unhear this. When he charges, he says fuck, right? Am I crazy?
Does he?
Fuck! 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 Do it. I can't unhear it.
I think he does. Someone said he does. Yeah. Did you hear me?
Yeah, sorry. What was it?
Whoa!
Whoa!
Razor, any chance for a music mythos on Jamaica?
Again? No.
No.
Got that question last
We
week.
did.
Did you?
And the week before that, and the week before that. It's kind of like it's like the Sabaton thing. Whoa! Yeah! Do it! Oh, come on. Tiger uppercut.
Speedy Sphincter donates $5 and says, Angels played their first game in Seattle since Albert went to the Angels. There was an ovation for him every at bat. That's what it says. Also, Trout makes $88,000 a day. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, Trout makes money for passing gas. How much money do the Angels just have to burn is my question. They shoveled all that money at Ohtani. They shoveled all that money at Mike Trout. They're like if the Dodgers never won. Whoa. Do I?
I don't think I have it.
Second, you should. Hold on. Ba-ba-ba-ba.
What is the next question?
Coin 2, Joy 2,
Bearded.
button 6. Yeah, you should. That's odd.
Bearded. That's what it was doing to me. Is it Bearded Bjorn? Is that how you say that fucking weird name? Bjorn. I hate that word. Alright.
Yuck, fyoff.
Bearded Bjorn donates $7.99. I got my first PC because of you guys.
Nice.
i5 9400F with
You're asking a woman to talk about computer parts.
Let me try.
It's like asking me to talk about ovulation. Oh!
With a 1,600.
Do Eve a favor. Ask her about making me a sandwich or making a tasty meal. Or
My brain. With a wait.
the woman's brain was not meant to process
with
this
a
information.
1660
Oh!
Ti. What type of monitor do you think I should look for? Thanks for your help.
Did you see the fucking deal on that fucking nice 8K monitor at the fucking PC game show at
No.
E3?
What was the price?
Like fucking, what was it, like, it was some insanely low price point. But it's a smaller monitor. If you have a smaller game station, it might be a good idea.
We were just off screen, but we were up.
What are you snorting coke? What the fuck was that?
Kurt Dirts donates $7.77. Taryn, you're gay. Eve, you're just goddamn delightful. And Razor, ever thought about doing a Tenchu retrospective?
Oh, I'd love to. I love Tenchu.
Those surprise mechanics, though, god fucking speed.
No remaining aliens on Earth. Jared Taylor's wet dream. The entire Earth is white. White.
Jared Taylor and what's his name? God, that black dude on Twitter who calls everyone a white supremacist. They were on a live stream together.
Oh yeah, Tariq Nasheed?
Tariq Nasheed,
How did that
there you go.
happen? What world am I in?
Oh my
What
god.
is
that's
this?
great.
What is going on? Still, if you're Jared Taylor, that takes balls the size of Alpha Centauri.
He was telling that guy, you know, they were basically face to face on video chat. He was saying, well, black kids react more violently than white kids.
Right to his
Right to his
face!
face! And Tariq Nasheed's like jaw just fucking
You could
dropped.
see, you could actually see the veins in his skull exploding in real time.
That was hilarious. That brought joy to me.
That's our reward, by the way, for beating the game, is game over. Mind you, if this was real, we would have just, like, fed the gross domestic product of India into the fucking machine.
Absolutely.
And our reward is game fucking over. Fuck you.
I forget, do you have aliens installed?
No.
Oh, that's a shame. That's
No, this is the only one. We'll actually go ahead and take a vote on what the pardon me, on what the fuck we we want to play next. Just a secundo. Yeah, there we go.
Somebody said your Predator 2 video is down.
Mute. Only the YouTube one.
Oh.
Yeah, the YouTube one is. Okay, guys,
Looks
so
like Silent Hill.
yeah, it looks like number 2 in the voting was Silent Hill 2.